morning, everybody. Good morning. Please do not fake laugh. That gives me, some of those are fake laughs. But when people fake laugh, that gives me anxiety. So is it funny? Just nod your head. I won't feel bad. But Pastor Bart stole my intro, so no, you're good. So my name is Jayvious Johnson. My beautiful wife back there is Adela. Wild child Luna, she's back there. I got my sweet boy Jonah. And I got the rest of my family here. My parents are here. The other three little light-skinned kids you guys see walking around, those are my siblings, not my nephews and my niece. I know a lot of people are confused about our family dynamic because we just kind of show up, not sometimes, not all together. I know it gets confusing. But today, the title of my message is Trusting God with Our Doors. Now, like I said, my mom's in the crowd, so Mom, if it's too low, too loud, let me know. Moms are our best critics. So the title is Trusting God with Our Doors. And the purpose of this message is to explore what it means to trust God with our doors, to find out why it is important to trust God with our doors. And at the end of our message, I'm going to be giving you guys a simple life hack that we all can do to exercise practicing trusting God with our doors. All right? You guys ready? Yeah. You ready? Let me hear you say, let's go. Let's go. I like it. All right, so, for all you visual learners out there, I thought about bringing a door up for a visual. Sorry, Dustin. I was hoping you weren't going to be in the crowd for this joke. But yeah, if you guys know, if you're here for our Christmas service, you know it's probably not a great idea for me to bring a door up here. So, some people, they pave the way for you. That's what older siblings are for. So we'll be starting out of Romans chapter 8. And in chapter 8, that is where Paul is speaking to the church of Rome about living in the Spirit. More specifically, the benefits and the good news of us living and walking in the Spirit. Now, what does it mean to live in the Spirit? It's a great question. It means letting go of our sinful nature and admitting that we need help in our weakness. It means drawing near to God in times of weakness and disappointment. And it also means trusting God with our doors. So we're going to be starting in verse 28, where it says, "And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose." So, like I said, I have a daughter named Luna. That's my wild child. And she is notorious for trying to open and walk out the front door. That and smacking and throwing toys at her little brother. And something new that kind of happened this week, she's also notorious for doing cartwheels down the stairs. If you follow me on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But she's poor baby. No, we told her don't play on stairs. Hey, some kids gotta learn the hard way. But I was one of those kids, so I'm reaping, But anyway, but she gets so upset, so angry, so heartbroken when we tell her that she cannot go out the front door, or we tell her not yet. Obviously, she wants to go to the park. That's what every little kid wants to do when they go to the door. And just like our kids, us parents, us adults, we can be the same way God tells us not yet. We cry, we throw fits, we get angry, we get distant. All of those things when God tells us not yet, or when He closes the door. Walking away from this service, I want all of us to be better and learn how to trust God when He closes our doors. In verse 25 it says, "But if we look forward to something we do not have yet, we must wait anxiously and with an attitude." Is that what it says? Any Bible scholars, is that what it says? No. It says wait patiently and confidently. The key takeaway from that verse is patiently and confidently. It's so easy to wait for something with an attitude. You guys agree? I don't know about you guys, but when I think of the word attitude, I think of the word food. They go hand in hand together. And one analogy that comes to my head is I remember Thanksgiving was here, and we all go to my grandparents' house. You guys know what happens before you guys eat food at your grandparents' house. Grandma has to pray over the food. And one thing about my grandma is she not only prays over the food, but she prays over everybody who's there. She prays over every single dish that's there, and sometimes everybody who lives in the city. And as you guys can imagine, you get an attitude the longer the prayers start going. No disrespect, but it's like, Grandma, we trying to eat. So, God is calling us. I know that's a weird analogy, and I know while I was doing it, I was like, I don't know if that kind of goes in, but hey, anyway. God calls us to wait patiently and confidently. We have to be patient and confident that God is going to come through, sit us exactly where we need to be seated, open the exact doors that we need in our life, and fill us up more than we can possibly imagine. Thank you. Maybe you're somebody in the room who is in a waiting season, like me. Whether that's a job promotion, whether it's you're waiting to start a family, or maybe you're trying to buy a house in this crazy market, like me. Maybe you're single, you're waiting for a specific relationship, or any other breakthrough. Or maybe you are in the room and God has closed the door on the one thing that you were waiting for forever. Or maybe there is an open door in front of you and you just don't know if it's from God. I have some good news. I have a simple, practical life hack that every single one of us can do in this room, no matter the season, no matter the door. Are you guys ready? Yes. Some of you guys might not like this answer. Eliminate something in your life that does not directly point you to God. Eliminate something in your life that does not directly point you to God. Why? Because it is so important in times of disappointment and waiting to hear from God. Get this. This is also the perfect time for the enemy to slither in and confuse you about the direction that God has in your life. Why? Because he knows that there is major breakthrough when we learn to trust God with our doors. When my wife and I moved here about a year and a few months ago, I went through a very dry, difficult wilderness season in my life. And it was really hard for me to trust God with my doors. Things weren't happening at the pace that I wanted them to happen. God wasn't opening the doors that I expected him to open. The weapons that were formed against me, they felt like they was prospering. They really did, I'm just being honest. I didn't trust God with my story as much as I thought I did. So I had to get rid of something. And for me, that something was secular music. Now before y'all start booing me and throwing tomatoes, this is my own personal conviction. This is what I had to do. Don't get me wrong, I love secular music, except for country music. No country music. Chris Stapleton, I think that's his name, he gets a pass. But the rest of country music, throw it in the garbage. It's pretty bad. But I love secular music. But I tell you what, I do not love secular music more than I love the voice of God. And I think every single one of us in the room can benefit from hearing the voice of God. We should all get to a point where we want to hear the voice of God more than anything else in our life, no matter what it is. For me, it was secular music. I don't know what it is for you. That's what it was for me. And before I knew it, I began to have peace, and I began to see that everything works together according to the good of his purpose, and not mine. That was a hard pill to swallow, because we all got our plans, we all got our desires, and we want to go after it, right? And that's what society tells us to do. But anyway, that's a message for another day. And it wasn't that my situation on the outside changed. It was more so my heart posture changed. The way I saw everything changed. My desires changed. I no longer desired the things of my heart. I desired the things of his heart. That's a good thing when you have people that you don't like. Just saying. And when we learn to trust God with our doors, all things work together for our good. And sometimes, it's another hard pill to swallow, sometimes the good isn't what we expected, but I promise you, it is what is best for your life.